Debbie Marcoux is licensed by the California Department of Business Oversight under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act, NMLS ID 237926. Also licensed in Arizona, 094-1504, Georgia 69178, Illinois 031.005-8339, Nevada 57237, Oregon, Tennessee 184373, Texas, Washington, MLO 237926, Heidi Slade Points, California DBO 1666881.
She's the mortgage mom. She can get things done when you're in need and don't know where to go. Pick up the phone and call mom.
All right, well, welcome to Mortgage Mom Radio. I'm Debbie Marcoux, and I've got Heidi Schlegel Points by Zoom.
Hello.
And we are so sorry that we got started and then we had to stop. Our computer crashed. The system that we use to actually stream the Zoom and then also send it out to Facebook and YouTube and Twitch was not working. So we had to stop and start it over. Welcome to the days of technology. I am so happy that I've got money in the stock market in the tech field. So
Right?
All
Gotta
right.
love to hate it.
Gotta love to hate it. Exactly. So welcome to Mortgage Mom Radio. I'm Debbie Marcoux, and I've got Heidi as always. And what do we do? What is Mortgage Mom Radio? We are an education and advice show. What do? We talk about real estate. We talk about mortgage. We talk about your finances, your debt, your credit report, whether you've got your property in a trust, everything that is very important to you and your family. We're trying to make sure that we're getting you.
No sound. No sound.
None? You can't hear us at all? We have no sound. Manny says he can hear us.
And I just played it myself and it was working.
But you were hearing the Mortgage Mom song. Remember I told you Mikey does something that he mutes us. Huh? You can hear us?
Yeah. He could hear the Mortgage Mom song, not us.
Yeah.
Okay. What is he watching?
Okay.
Is he watching YouTube or is he watching Facebook or where is he watching?
What are you watching? YouTube.
What are you watching, Manny? Okay, Manny says he can hear us and he can hear both of us.
Okay.
Is it maybe Jeremy's hearing aids?
He said, I heard the Mortgage Mom ditty.
I could hear him in the background. That's awesome. So, all right. Well, I think that we're working. If anybody else is out there listening other than Jeremy, can you guys give us some sort of something into the feed? Tell us whether you can hear our sound.
Yeah, we've already got one comment from Maribella, says there is sound.
Awesome.
I have a feeling Jerry
Awesome.
might have been looking at the previous video that didn't have sound.
Oh, he could have been.
He might not have switched to the new feed.
Right, he could have.
Right.
That could have happened. All right, perfect. Well, hey, we're on a roll, right? That's what this is all about.
We're moving forward.
In
Let's go.
in the world of COVID, we've got to make this all work, right? I am just
Yes.
so ready for you to be sitting right here next to me and doing
Not
this
as
show.
ready as I am.
Right? Oh man. All right. So what do? We make sure that your family gets into the finances that they need. That is what this show is all about. At least we're trying to make what the show is all about, right? But we keep getting interrupted and technology, we love it. So we were sort of catching up in the last feed, but obviously people couldn't hear you. So what I want to know is, how is your packing going?
It's fantastic. I'm not doing any of it by myself, so it's amazing.
Okay.
I feel like it's going to be the easiest packing situation ever.
Okay.
No, I did decide since I just moved a year ago that I am taking the easy way out. I did, as we talked last time, I cannot hire a full moving company, but I did ask them what it would cost for packing and then loading our pod. And I've decided that that is reasonable for my sanity, my husband's sanity, and I'm going with it. They're going to pack me in a day and then load up our pod in a day. And
There you go.
it's going to be worth every penny.
There you go. Perfect. Very good.
Yeah.
So I also want to know, how's it going working at home?
Oh, it's amazing. Working at home's not bad. And honestly, it wouldn't be bad if I could go out and do everything else. But it's a little much when you never leave the house.
Right. You're feeling
So.
very, very cooped up. I mean, it's hard for me. I mean, I'm coming into the office because it is just me, Manny, and Matt. That's it, the three of us. So it's not
Right.
really any different than being at home, but I'm coming into the office, so I'm at least leaving the house. And, even then, I'm feeling very cooped up. I mean, you go straight home and you're in the house all night and you're in the house all weekend and come back to work and you do it all over again and there's no sense of stopping. One of the
No.
things that people have talked about is, are your employees actually working more? Are they more productive being at home? And it, you probably are more productive being at home, but you're working even more than you were before because you never stop. You're at home, your computer's open, you're maybe trying to make some dinner and you hear the email ding
Uh-huh.
and you're going to go run and look at it, and you don't ever get that sense of just shutting off. And I think that that's actually really important, is to get that sense of shutting off. So
Right.
I can totally understand where you're at and how you feel. And
Yep.
yeah,
And there's just so much going on that it's like, okay, jump on the computer, do this. Okay, jump off and do this. Okay, jump on the computer, do this. And when you're not going anywhere, honestly, part of it's like, well, why not?
right.
It's not like I get to take off and go somewhere for the day or for the night or, whatever.
Right, right.
So, yeah, but
It,
it'll be over. I mean, it'll end.
right.
With me moving, it probably won't end that I'll be working from home, but I will have time to go out and do stuff once,
Right.
the country opens.
Exactly. All right. So, for everybody out there listening, we want you guys to ask us your questions. Go ahead and put those in the feed. We're going to talk about everything that has to do with real estate, mortgage, credit, your trust. Do you have a trust? That's a really important one. We haven't talked about that in a while. We did have
Nope.
Krista on. It's been a while now since Krista was on last, but she had some really, really good things that she talked about that I think that are extremely important that I do want to go over again from what I remember her saying. If you have questions about that, we can definitely get you put together with Krista. I can get you her information. All you've got to do is, send me an email or give us a call at the office, and we can make sure that we get you her contact. But this show is all about your budget, your finances, buying a home, your taxes. We had the tax grandma on, last couple weeks ago to talk about your taxes and where there might be some potential savings for you when you file those returns. So we're here to help you in any way that we can, and there is no question that is a dumb question. So we want you all to please reach out and ask. If you're watching the show and it is, Saturday morning at 7 and you're, listening by Go Country 105, we love that. But if you'd like to be able to ask us your question, during the show, you've got to watch us right here live on Wednesday. So we're live on our Facebook page, we're live on YouTube, and we're even live on Twitch. So if you guys want to get those questions in, we're more than happy to read them out loud, answer them for you, and make sure that you get the answer that you want. And then not only that, but you get your answer, right on radio on Saturday morning as well. So please, you guys, reach out, put that in the feed. How do you get a hold of us? Well, you give us a call. It's 844 935 3634. That's 844 We Lend for you. That's LEND and the number 4. What else can you do? You can go to our website, go to mortgagemomradio.com, and you can do just about everything that you need to do right through the website. There's all kinds of calculators. It's no different than using our phone app. Our phone app is great. I don't know about you, but when I'm at home, I don't want to get on the computer, so I'd rather be looking at my phone. If you guys want to use that phone app, you can run payments, you can watch us on Facebook, and you can watch us on YouTube. You can do your entire loan application right by the phone app. So all you have to do is text the word MOM to 36260. That's MOM to 36260 to get that phone app. If you missed a show, don't worry. You've got lots of places you can go. You can go back to YouTube and you can watch a show that we've done recently. We just started recording these shows live on Wednesdays at the beginning of this year, but you can go all the way back. We've got shows for almost 3 years now that are on podcast, and anywhere that you like to listen to podcasts, you can find our show there. Everything is always Mortgage Mom Radio, so we want you guys to be able to find us. So let's talk a little bit. I think that the trust piece is really important because one of the things that I remember Krista talking to us about when she was, on air the last time that she was, we did this, was that she was talking about power of attorneys and medical power of attorneys, and especially when you have children that are 18 years old and 19 and 20 and 21, right? They still live at home. They're still your dependents. They're still your little kids, but they're not kids as far as the government is concerned, right? So
Right.
it's very, very important, especially right now as we're all battling with the medical issues that are going on and with COVID 19. And, what if your child does get sick and you don't have that medical power of attorney signed for them? The hospital does not have to talk to you. Sometimes they won't, and that was one of the things that she was bringing to our attention when she was on the show last. So if that is something that you feel would be very important for you and your family, I do think it's something that you should consider. Definitely reach out to us. We would be happy to get you her information so that you can talk to her about what steps you need to take to get that done. So just, not to scare anybody, but if you can protect yourself and think about it in advance, do it, right?
Yeah, and unfortunately, COVID has kind of put people in a situation they never thought they'd be in, and you know, younger kids, they're considered adults, but if they do get sick, they're going to the hospital by themselves.
Right.
And the only way to be able to get that information is to be their power of attorney at that age because you're not considered their legal guardian anymore.
Right.
Once they hit 18, that's it. So it is very important. It is something to consider. And Krista made a great point with that, something that most of us parents wouldn't think about.
No.
We're still their mom, right? They're
Right.
still our kids. They're always our kids.
Right.
But once they're 18, they're an adult.
Yeah. I mean, I get phone calls all the time from the pharmacy letting me know that, Manny's got medicine to pick up, and that's because I'm the person that's on his account. But every time I answer the phone and they ask for him, I say, well, this is his mom. And
Right.
they're very, very hesitant to want to talk to me because he is an adult. So, just think about, multiply that by 5 times when you're talking about doctors and nurses and hospitals and everything else. So, just something that I did want to bring up that I feel, even though medical is not really part of Mortgage Mom Radio, it is still, we're here looking out for you and the best intentions for your family. And I think that that is a really big thing to be considering right now. And that really rolls right into the idea of the trust and having your property in a trust and not having to go through probate. I mean, I was actually thinking about it the other day, and, I am the only income in my home, but that extends out to a lot of homes. My brother that's running all of our equipment tonight. I mean, he works for me. My son Manny works for me. You,
Right.
Heidi, work for me.
Yeah.
And my husband is at home taking care of, Zeke, who is, developmentally challenged. So, if something happened to me, they have nothing, right? So,
Right.
we've got to be very, very careful in making sure that things are set up right and that the trust is set up and that the house is in the trust and that nobody has to go to probate and, that there's accounts that are set up to take care of the medical for Zeke, a trust account for that. And, so things to just be thinking about. Probate is not fun. Probate is extremely expensive. And by the time that you get through probate, there's a good chance that if you don't have the money available to continue to make payments on a house that's not technically yours until probate's done, you could end up losing that home. So, again, something very important to think about for your family is it time to set up that trust? And I think that with everything that is just going on right now, in the world, that this is a very important topic that we haven't talked about in a couple of months, but now more than ever, I think that it's going to hit home a little bit better, a little harder.
Oh, absolutely agreed. And, going to probate, sometimes there's just nothing left by the time it's over. It can take years. And your home, it's something that you've worked for so many years. Why would you let that go?
Right. Right.
But trust is very simple to get done, very simple to set up. And, Krista's been on the show, she's available. I highly recommend people put their property in the trust and then get everything else set up at the same time. It really doesn't take that long.
Right, absolutely. I mean, while she's drawing up the trust, she can be drawing up the power of attorneys. You can handle that for you and, your spouse and the kids and, everything else. So it is very, very important. Matt, I can see you looking at me.
Yeah, we have a couple comments. Erica joined us on YouTube and is just saying hello again. So apparently she came through our little mishap in the beginning.
All right.
And on Facebook, we have Karen saying, great tip.
All right. Well, thank you, Karen.
Wonderful.
Appreciate it. Thanks for watching, Erica. We love that. Any questions at all that anybody is thinking? We want to make sure that you guys know we are here to answer those questions for you. This really is live. We're doing it on the fly. Test our knowledge. Get us those questions. Throw them right into the feed. Matt is watching. He's going to pop in every now and then and read those questions to us. We are more than happy to answer them for you. That is what this show is all about. We want to make sure that we're getting the information to you that people are thinking. I mean, we think we know what people want to know,
Right.
but we don't always know what people want to know. And so if there's something that's on the top of your head that you've been thinking about, please throw it out there, give it to us. If you guys want to get a call set up, and actually we got a call this week that actually specifically asked to talk to Heidi.
We did.
We did.
We did.
Yes. So if you guys want to give us a call, it's 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. That is LEND and the number 4. Whether you want to talk to me or talk to Heidi, all you have to do is schedule a phone appointment. It's that simple. Nobody's got to go anywhere. It's all over the phone. You don't have to come in. It's not in person. But we can talk about you and your family and your finances and what are the goals, what are the plans, where are you trying to get to. That's the whole point of, what we do here. That it's part of the education piece. We want to make sure we're getting you set up. So don't hesitate to call and get that appointment on the books. Matt, why don't you explain really quick what the call was that came in that asked specifically for Heidi? Do you remember?
Not off the top of my head.
No?
I'm sorry.
I remember that it had something to do with she wanted to talk to Heidi because Heidi said on the show that there is no
Yes.
question that is a dumb question. Wasn't it something like that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was it. So Heidi,
Yeah.
you definitely have your fan base out there.
Well, hey. And the greatest part is it wasn't a dumb question. I mean, the question was a question people ask all the time, right? And I'll put out scenarios. So they had recently done a refinance. It was just about 6 months ago, and their lender told them that they had to be with them for a year before they could refinance again. So when I first spoke with them, got some information, it was almost as if they had done a cash out refinance. So I was thinking, okay, yeah, it needs to be 6 months, but they actually hadn't. They hadn't taken any cash out. They had done a rate and term refinance, which does not have
A seasoning.
a limitation of any kind of seasoning to be able to do a refinance again. So I was very clear that that's not, maybe it's some kind of overlay with their lender. I'm not sure. But that wasn't the case. Unfortunately, we weren't able to help them do that because of the loan to value ratios on their home. However, I was able to refer them to talk to their credit union or a larger bank about possibly getting a small equity line, because that has a little bit larger ratios on the back end for them. So they were really happy, very pleased that I was able to give them that information. But it wasn't a stupid question by any means, because they had immediately gotten false information.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's, it just depends. There's so many different things that come into when you refinance again. And we do get that question all the time, and it's never a dumb question ever. So, one of the things is with a VA loan, if you have already refinanced, you cannot do another VA loan until you have actually made 6 mortgage payments. It doesn't matter if it's a streamlined VA, it doesn't matter if it's a cash out VA, it doesn't matter what kind of VA loan that it is. There is literally a VA guideline that says that you have to have made at least 6 months of payments. FHA, you can refinance right away if you want, but if you're trying to do a streamline, you've got 240 days since the date of funding. So there's a lot of intricacies that go into whether you can or you cannot refinance again right away. With a conventional loan, if you have done a cash out loan, you can refinance right away, but you cannot refinance as another cash out until you've actually made 6 mortgage payments. So let's say that you do a cash out, we get you the money, you pay off all your debts, your credit scores go up, and now you want to try to refinance again to bring that interest rate down because now it's a rate and term. You can do that. But if you're going from cash out and trying to cash out again, we've got to get those 6 months of payments in before we can do that loan. So it's never a bad question, never a dumb question, and we want you guys to ask. We want you to call. They wouldn't know, what the answer was unless they had tried.
Right. No, absolutely not. And we are trying to keep up with all the regulations and guidelines and rules and overlays. Why would anyone that's not in the business think that it's a dumb question or a silly question or they shouldn't ask? Because who else is going to remember all of this?
Right.
Let's be honest.
We barely
You know,
can.
I'm like, what changed today?
Right, right. Yeah, no, absolutely. Matt, I saw you looking at me again. You got something over there?
Yeah, another comment coming in from YouTube. Houseboat Billy says he's watching and wants a shout out too. Wants to let you know that he loves you guys and you're the best.
I love it. Houseboat Billy, thank you so much. That's great. And
Awesome.
I love the name, number one. Number two, houseboating in the summer on Lake Powell and Lake Shasta were probably my two favorite summer vacations I have ever taken. And I cannot wait to do it again. So I love your name. That is awesome. And thank you so much for watching. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. And for everybody that's out there, you guys, drop us some comments. We want to see it. We want to hear it. If you're listening to us on Saturday morning, at 7 on radio, remember, you guys can watch us Wednesdays. We're live at 5, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, whichever you'd like to watch us on. And you can see us do this live, right? From the office and right from Heidi's house, and you can,
from my kitchen,
right? You could see us stumbling over our words, and this, we really are real people. I mean, my shirt today, you guys could see my shirt. It says "Wine Listens." Very important, very important shirt, because I'm gonna go home and pour a glass of wine, and it's gonna listen.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so we have covered some cash out questions. We've covered the fact that if you guys would rather talk to Heidi than me, which is so okay. Just kidding. I absolutely love talking to people. I cannot tell you how many times that I've actually had when I call and I say, "This is Debbie with Mortgage Mom Radio. You're on my calendar to talk to you today." They go, "Oh my goodness. I really didn't think it was going to be you." And I said, "Hey, when I tell people it's going to be me, it's going to be me." So it's, every now and then I get really, really busy and I get a little bit behind, and it's like a doctor's office. If the call before went late, now look at that. We've got a hairless kitty in the Zoom. But if a call goes late, then that call makes the next call late. And so every now and then, Heidi will be the one that reaches out, or maybe Carrie reaches out, or maybe Larry. But the majority of the time, I'd say 95% of the phone calls that go out are from me. You are getting me personally. I am answering those questions for you.
Yep.
And it's my goal. It's what I want to do. It's why I built this show. It's why I've created a team around me to try, I do look. Trust me, I do a lot of the loan stuff myself. I look at a lot of, the documents. I send out a lot of lists saying, I'm missing this, or I have a question about that. I'm still doing that job with you as well. But if I didn't have Heidi doing the backside and putting the bow on it and getting it to underwriting, and, I didn't have, Matt taking the calls and running the calendar, and we didn't have Manny that was actually naming all of the documents and downloading the applications from the system, we would not run nearly as efficiently. But that allows me to give you my personal time and make sure that you're getting, all of the attention that you need when we do have that phone consultation. So I do want to make sure that you guys know that it really is with me, and we really do want you to call. We really do want you to watch live. Put your questions in the feed. We want you to get on my calendar. I want to talk with you one-on-one to make sure that you're getting everything that you need. You're in the right position. I've probably told 7 people this week already, do nothing. You're in great shape. There's no reason to move forward. I actually told one lady earlier this week that if I really wanted to and I was really desperate for a loan, that I could absolutely figure out a way to talk her into doing an application and starting a refinance. But that is not me. That is not how I work. I work very referral based. I want you, after the transaction is over, telling your friends, telling your family that it was great, it was awesome, you really enjoyed working with us. And I want those people that I say, no, there's nothing to do right now. I want them to go out and tell people, you know what, dude, she was a straight shooter. She really gave it to us the right way. She didn't, get me into something that I didn't need to do. That is really, really important to me. So, just know that we're here for you. We want to talk to you. I want you to get on my calendar if you have questions about whether you should or should not be doing a loan. But by all means, if you want Heidi, you guys can get her. All you got to do is say, we really want to talk to Heidi.
I think last week I ended up getting 2 calls by accident.
Yes.
And, it was great. We had great conversation. One of them, I had the same conversation, just there was no benefit, right?
Right.
15 years into her 30-year loan.
No.
And so starting over, we could have gotten a better rate, but to start over, and she didn't want to increase her payment that much by going into a 15-year.
Right.
It made no sense. But we had a great conversation. She said how much she loves us, and it was wonderful. But she had another loan officer telling her how much she was going to save. And I'm like, not by starting over.
Right, right. Yeah, exactly. If you can't afford it, when you're that far into your loan, if you can't afford to go into a 15-year fix to keep staying on that same track and get it paid
Right.
off, that why would you start that over? I mean, we can
Yeah.
look at, what is the total interest going to be that you're going to pay over the term of the loan, and
Right.
see if some of those things are benefit. But
Yeah.
it just when you're that is the first question that I ask every single person that calls is,
Mhm.
how many years into your mortgage are you right now? And I've really been working hard on trying to get people to look at 20 and 15-year loans. And that is
Right.
actually something that I wanted to talk about. So it was awesome that this just kind of morphed its way into
Perfect segment.
yes, yeah, perfect
Segue.
segment. 20 years and 15 years are amazing because you really are going to get that loan paid off faster. Interest rates right now are so low that when you go into a 20 or a 15, you very well may be able to keep your payment similar to what you're paying today. So if you're on a 30-year fix today and your interest rate is, 5%, 4.75%, which there are a ton of people that still have those rates, we could be looking at a 15-year or a 20-year at 3.25 or 2.99 or even 2.875, depending on the day that we catch the rate sheet, right?
Right.
And we might be able to keep the payment, if not the same, maybe you're a couple $100s more, maybe. And what I
Right.
always try to tell people is, look, if your payment's a couple $100s more and you can afford that, the chances of you adding $200 to the mortgage that you have today are slim to none. And I am a perfect example of that. If I've got a certain payment, I make that payment. No matter how many times I tell myself I'm going to pay it off early, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to add more, I'm going to put this much extra per month. It never happens. The payment comes in, I make the payment. Or I'm very lazy and I like auto pay because if I didn't do auto pay, I'd get nothing paid on time. It's the only way that I personally keep my credit report in good shape, right? So when you're on auto pay, they typically just set up the auto pay at the payment amount, and that's what happens. And I always keep thinking, oh, I'm going to make an extra payment. And then I think, oh, I can't remember that password. I can't remember how to get into that website, and I don't do it. But if I had set up a 20-year loan and my payment was a couple $100s more per month, I would absolutely be able to afford to do it. And I would set it up on the same auto pay, and I'm 10 years faster. Or a 15, I'm 15 years faster. I mean, think about that. All of us right now, that are 40, 50, 60 years old, 15 years puts you in a position that you really might not have a mortgage payment one day.
Right.
That really would be really, really nice. Now, there's a lot of people
Mhm.
out there that say you shouldn't pay your mortgage off, and everybody's got different. You've got Dave Ramsey that says don't do anything unless you can't, can pay cash. And then there's the other ones that say don't pay the mortgage off because you really need to have the tax deduction and you should be leveraging your money and you should be going putting it somewhere else. You know what?
Right.
I would really like to be able to have my mortgage paid off someday. That is
Oh,
just
me
me.
too. Me too.
You know, I would love to buy other property. I would
Yeah.
love to have investment properties. I'd like to have other people making the payments for me. Obviously, I'm not going to take all of my hard earned cash and put it into an investment property if I've got a tenant that I can get to rent out and pay my mortgage payment for me and maybe a little
Mhm.
extra. But I would love to not make a payment on the house that I reside in, at the point that I'm retired. So that has really been something that I've been trying really hard to talk to people about that have been calling me recently. This is a perfect opportunity right now with interest rates as low as they are to possibly be able to shorten up that term. And I think that is really the play right now. I think that's really the name of the game. If you can get into a 20-year or you can get into a 15-year and we can get you into a rate somewhere in the very low threes, high twos, I mean, the money's almost free,
Right.
when
Yeah.
we're talking about those kinds of interest rates. And, it just gives you an opportunity that you may not get down the road. I mean, we were in December of 2018, we were at interest rates of 5.75, 6%,
Yeah.
and they went like that. I mean, they just
Yep.
moved so fast. And this opportunity may not come back around. So, if you've been thinking about should I refinance, shouldn't I refinance, I'm going to give you a couple of things to think about, which would give you the opportunity to determine whether you need to call and you need to get on my calendar to talk to me, or whether you need to put a question into the feed and get a conversation started. So, number one, if your interest rate is 4% or higher, you should absolutely be calling us. Period. End of story. Whether you've got a 30-year fixed, 20-year, 15-year, adjustable rate, if your interest rate is 4% or higher right now today, you need to be getting on the phone and we need to determine whether or not it's something you should do. There might be somebody that is 15 years into a 30-year fix at 4.25 that we may say that's not worth it. Don't do it today. But there's a very good chance if your rate is 4% or higher that it would be a very good opportunity for you to give us a call and talk to us, and we can probably save you money. But the goal would not be save you money. The goal would be, can we keep your payment the same, but can we shorten your term? Can we make it shorter? Other people don't realize that on a 30-year fix, I can set you up for 25 years. I can set you up for 27 years. I can set you up for 22 years. So we don't necessarily need to start you over completely. The name of the game is shorter the term, the better. What can you afford? What can you handle? So that would be one thing that I would be saying, get on the phone right now. Number 2, do you have an FHA loan and do you pay mortgage insurance? Or do you have a conventional loan and do you pay mortgage insurance? If you can answer yes to those 2 questions, get on the phone and give us a call. Let's set up a time. Let's talk about what can we do. Can we get rid of that mortgage insurance? Values are up right now. There was just an article that came out yesterday or the day before that was talking about the property values from March. Believe it or not, they went up.
Right.
April, they went up. Property values are very strong right now, and they're going to stay strong unless people start to lose their homes. Right now, the banks are working with the federal government. They're trying to do forbearances, which we're going to talk about too, because that's a big thing that's going on right now.
Yes.
But they're trying to do forbearances. They're trying to help save people, help keep people in their homes so that they don't have to walk away, they don't lose their properties. And if we can keep that under control, our property values are going to continue to stay strong. So right now, while your property value is up and we can get your appraisal in, we might be able to get rid of that mortgage insurance. So that would be, is your rate above 4%? You need to call. Do you pay mortgage insurance? You need to call. And, if you have a lot of credit card debt, that's the other one. I've been running my blended rate calculator over and over again this week because I have a lot of people that have really tallied up the credit card debt, and they got to get rid of it. And that credit card debt is killing them. And so if you have equity in your home, so think about it this way. We cannot cash you out past 80%. So if your house is worth $100,000, that is what it is valued at. Your highest loan cannot be over $80,000 on a cash out. So if you owe 70, we can get you 10. That's the easiest way to understand the numbers, the actual finance